Hey there, it's Dawn Clevisol. I am coming to you guys with, I think we're on episode 5 of the Perfect Profit Academy TV. I am in the process of moving, so it is like super crazy here. You might hear some noises, and that's just my husband moving things. we just got a new house, so it's exciting, but also we're in that part where it's just insanity trying to get all of your stuff like packed up and sent off and into where it should be. So last week when I broadcast, I guess I missed a step and you guys couldn't hear me, so I apologize for that. If you can hear me today, can you please let me know? I want to make sure before I do another half-hour broadcast without any sound for you. So let me know in the comments real quick if you can hear me. If so, then I will continue on. And we are talking about how traditional accounting is killing your business. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Because it's traditional accounting. It's how we're taught that we're supposed to do things. But it isn't the best way to run your business if you're trying to make money. And it's something that I struggled with my clients for years because, I would do their books. What are you told to do? You do your books, you look at your reports, your business will be successful. But we would look at, I would do their books, I would send off reports, and then I didn't feel like anything was really changing inside their businesses. It was so frustrating. And that's why last year or so when one of my clients asked me about Profit First, I was like, here you go. This is like fills in that gap. This takes you into consideration in your business instead of this is how businesses are supposed to run, which, most of us, when we're starting out, unless you have a business degree or an accounting degree or something like that, you don't really understand the backside of it. You got into it because you don't want to work a 9 to 5, or you just don't want to be stuck at a job, or you just wanted to be home, or you need to be home with your kids, like right now. Hi, I see someone's watching. Can you tell me if you can hear me? I just want to make sure before I start reading that you can actually hear me today. So I apologize for last week. I did not realize that I hadn't added myself to the broadcast. So I think we're okay this week because I can actually see myself. What I was trying to do is just have the image up there for you so that I could read the book to you without me having to look over at my copy of the book all the time, because I like to look at you in the camera when we're face to face, and it was driving me crazy that if I played it back, I'm looking over here instead of looking at you, but that wasn't working. So we'll figure it out. If anyone knows like the technical side of things, I'd appreciate some input. But I am going to actually, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real quick, and we'll see if we might get feedback or something. I don't know, but we'll see make sure that I can hear. Oh, yes, I can hear us. Okay, awesome. Okay, this is great, you guys. Okay, let me put my reading over here for you and get to the right page. Again, we're talking about how traditional accounting is killing your business. And it's one of those things that it's so nice, it's nice to have something, a plan, to put things in, but that plan really only works for paying your taxes. And we don't want to focus on paying our taxes. We want to focus on making money in our business. So without further ado, this is from the first chapter of Profit First. I'm on page 26. Traditional accounting is killing your business. Since the dawn of time or shortly thereafter, businesses have kept track of their earnings and expenditures using essentially the same method. Sales minus expenses equals profit. If you manage the numbers like most entrepreneurs, you start with sales, the top line, and then subtract costs directly related to the delivery of your offering, product or service. Then you subtract all of the other costs you incur to run your business. Rent, utilities, employee salaries, office supplies, and other administrative expenses, sales commissions, taking your client out to lunch, signage, insurance, etc., etc. Then you pay your taxes. Then and only then do you take your owner's distribution, your owner's salary, profit distribution, etc. Let's be honest, most entrepreneurs hardly ever take anything close to a real salary. And good luck telling the government that you decided to skip taxes this year so that you could pay yourself. Finally, after all that, you post your company's profit. And if your experience is like the majority of entrepreneurs, you never get to finally. When you're waiting for the leftovers, the best you'll get is the scraps. The traditional accounting methods we use today became formalized in the early 1900s. The particulars are updated regularly, but the core system remains the same. Start with sales, subtract direct costs, which are the costs you directly incur to create and deliver your product or service, pay employees, subtract indirect costs, pay taxes, pay owners in the form of owners' distributions, retain or distribute profit, the bottom line. Whether you outsource your bookkeeping or keep a shoebox of receipts under your bed, the basic idea is the same. Logically, GAAP, which stands for Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, makes complete sense. It suggests that we sell as much as we can, spend as little as we can, and pocket the difference. But humans aren't logical. One episode of Bridezilla's pretty much proves that. Just because GAAP makes logical sense doesn't mean it makes human sense. GAAP both supersedes our natural behavior and makes us believe bigger is better. So we try to sell more. We try to sell our way to success. We do everything we can to make the top line revenue grow so that anything will drip down to the bottom line. It becomes a relentless cycle of chasing after every shiny object disguised as an opportunity. That's Little Pumpkins to my peeps. You know who you are. Throughout this haphazard, desperate growth process, our expenses are lost in the wash. We just pay as we go. They're all necessary, right? Who knows? We're too busy hunting down sales and trying to deliver on all of our promises to worry about the impact of expenses. We try to spend less without considering investments versus costs. We don't think about leveraging our spending to get way more mileage out of way less expense. We can't. The more variety of stuff we sell, the more our cost of doing business rises. They say it takes money to make money, but no one ever tells us what that translates to in the real world. It takes more money to make less money. Let me say that again. It takes more money to make less money. As our monster gets bigger, its appetite gets out of hand. We're now faced with covering expenses for more employees, more staff, more everything. The monster grows and grows and grows. Meanwhile, we're still dealing with the same problems, just bigger ones. More empty bank accounts, higher stacks of credit card bills, bigger loans, and an ever-increasing list of must-pay expenses. Sound familiar, Dr. Frankenstein? GAP's fundamental flaw is that it goes against human nature. No matter how much income we generate, we always find a way to spend all of it. And we have good reasons for our spending choices. Everything is justified. Soon enough, whatever money we had in the bank dwindles down to nothing as we struggle to cover every necessary expense. And that's when we find ourselves in the survival trap. The second flaw is this. GAAP teaches us to focus on sales and expenses first. Once again, it works against our human nature, which urges us to grow what we focus on. It's something called the primacy effect. More on that in the next chapter. We focus on what comes first, sales and expenses, and actually become blind to what comes last. Yes, GAAP makes us blind to profit. Here is the same. What gets measured gets done. GAAP has us measure sales first. It is the top line after all. And therefore, we sell like mad while expenses are treated like a necessary evil to support, you guessed it, more sales. We spend all that we have because we believe we must. And we use terms like plowback or reinvest to feel good about it. Profit, your salary, mere afterthoughts, leftovers. Another problem with GAAP is that it's overwhelmingly complex. You need to hire an accountant to get it right. And when you ask an accountant the details of GAAP, he's likely to get confused. The system changes and is up for interpretation. And we play games with GAAP. Move some numbers around, post some stuff in different spots, and the numbers look different. Just ask Enron. They were able to post profits when they were going bankrupt. Yuck. Before we go any further, I want to make sure you and I are on the same page when I talk about profit, because the way accountants think about profit can be very different. Here's what I mean. A couple of years before I wrote The Toilet Paper Entrepreneur, I was sitting in my accountant's office watching him scratch down some notes with a pencil on a legal pad. He erased something, then wrote down another note. Then he looked at his computer, clicked and clacked a few buttons, and a dot matrix printer spit out a report. Yep, just as I thought, Mike, Keith said, peering over his John Lennon wannabe glasses. What? I said. You had $15,000 profit this year. Congratulations. That isn't too bad. For a second, I felt pride. Damn straight, there's a profit. I patted myself on the back. Then I had a sinking feeling. Where's the cash? There wasn't a penny in the corporate coffers, let alone in my pocket. Then, feeling embarrassed that I didn't know the answer, I asked, Hey, Keith, where's the profit? He pointed to the paper report that the printer had just printed out, circled it on the paper in his fancy-smancy number 2 pencil. Yes, Keith, I can see the profit on paper, but where is the cash? I want to take it out and celebrate a little. I want the profit for me. There was a moment of awkward silence. Keith did his best to avoid making me feel stupid. He stared at me and then said, "This is an accounting profit. You spent the money in some way already. It doesn't mean there is any more money actually there right now. In fact, in your case, it's already gone. This is just the accounting of what already happened." So you're saying I have a profit, but there's nothing in the bank for me to take as a profit now? Exactly, said the John Lennon poser. Damn, this sucks. Maybe next year, Keith said. Next year? Why next year? Why not start tomorrow, I thought. Accountants define profit differently than entrepreneurs. They point to a fictitious number on the bottom of the accounting report. Our definition of profit is simple. Cash in the bank. Cold, hard cash for us. At the end of the day, the start of the new day, and every second in between, cash is all that counts. It is the lifeblood of your business. Do you have it or not? If you don't, you're in trouble. If you do, you're sustained. GAAP was never intended to manage only cash. It's a system for understanding all of the elements of your business. It has 3 key reports: your income statement, also known as your profit and loss statement, the cash flow statement, and the balance sheet. There's no question that you need to understand these reports or work with an accountant or bookkeeper who do, because they will give you a holistic view of your company. They're powerful and highly useful tools, but the essence of GAAP, sales minus expenses equals profit, is horribly flawed. It's a formula that builds monsters. It is the Frankenstein formula. To successfully run a profitable business, we need a super simple system to manage our cash, one that we can understand within seconds without the help of an accountant. We need a system that is designed for humans, not Spock. We need a system that can instantly tell us the truth about our health of our business, one that we can look at, know instantly what we need to do to get healthy and stay healthy. A system that tells us what we can actually spend and what needs to be reserved. A system that doesn't require us to change, but automatically works with our natural behaviors. Profit First is that system. And then we're going to the next section, you guys. So think about that for a minute. Think about how the system was set up so long ago. Again, it is being adjusted, and we're looking at, accountants look at it every year and make adjustments. However, it isn't really useful to you if you're trying to run your business and you're running it off of the cash, right? So keep that in mind as we move forward. We're talking about Profit First is built for humans. That's the next section here. How many times did Spock stare into Captain Kirk's eyes and say, "That's highly illogical"? Well, just like you, Captain Kirk was human, and humans are not logical. We are emotional beasts with monkey brains. We like shiny objects. We stuff ourselves when there's free pizza. We buy 12 pounds of cat food just because it's on sale, even though we don't have a cat. Okay, maybe that's just me. But we also know how to trust our gut, go with our instincts, take shortcuts, and be inventive on the fly so that we can move on and get things done. If you were Spock, the relentless, logical Vulcan on Star Trek, in addition to your pointy ears and awkwardly tight uniform, you would follow all the accounting instructions necessary to pinpoint your numbers. On a weekly basis, you would study your income statement, tie it to your balance sheet, and of course, do an analysis of your cash flow. Next, you would run the critical ratios like operating cash ratio and tie all of this into your budget and projections. Then you would evaluate the associated key performance indicators. You would do it all, and you would know exactly where your profits stand at any time. But you don't, do you? Not even close. I don't. In fact, still can't read those documents well, and that's why I employ a couple of Spocks, my accountant and my bookkeeper. I am human, and so are you, and I strongly suspect that you are Captain Kirk. And that is a good thing, because you are the perfect person to lead your corporate ship to profits at warp speed. As a human, you are likely to have certain tendencies. Chances are you log into your bank account every few days, or maybe a few times a day, to see what your bank account balance is. You probably make gut decisions based on the balances you see. A lot of deposits, and you feel good. Business is cooking. Let's take our clients out for bottomless margaritas. Let's buy that foosball table for the office. No money and panic sets in. Need to start making collection calls. Sell the foosball table. Sell the rad vending machines. Sell all the chairs. Sitting is bad for you anyway. All while praying that somebody buys you a bottomless margarita. This and other normal behaviors put businesses unintentionally into a constant state of flux. But I have good news, people. I designed Profit First so that you don't have to change yourself at all. This is the critical point. You have always had the opportunity to change yourself and read your financial statements, sync your accounts payable and accounts receivable, make sure you're within budget, and make sure all of your financial ratios are right. But if you did all that, you would know where your profit stands at all time. But only Spock and accountants, and actually not many of them, can do that. Most entrepreneurs revert to checking their bank account balance and going with their gut. Why? As Charles Dung explains in The Power of Habit, it is human nature to revert to established habits in times of stress. And guess what? The definition of entrepreneurship is constant stress. So we look for shortcuts and quick answers, especially with our finances. The great news is that Profit First is within your natural path. It is directly in alignment with the shortcut of looking at your bank account. It is unavoidable, designed to complement your natural human behaviors. Therefore, it works. Established habits die hard. So why try changing your habits? Instead, use a system that works with your existing habits. Profit First sits in front of your accounting. It will tell you you have a red flag and need to dig into the complex accounting stuff with your qualified accountant or bookkeeper, and it will show you exactly where your cash stands at any given moment. You'll know your profitability, your reserves for taxes, what you are getting paid, and the amount you have to run your business operations. All that and more. Happily ever after. The ending of Frankenstein, spoiler alert, is one of the most heartwarming happy endings in literature. Dr. Frankenstein and the monster talk it out and reconcile their differences, become best friends, and go into business together to create a highly successful and beloved ice cream brand, Frankenstein's. Leaves me joyful in tears every time. Just kidding. If you've read the book, you know that the monster destroys everything in Dr. Frankenstein's life. His wife, his family, his hopes of the future. So he sets out to exact revenge and kill his creation. The hunt for the monster takes a toll on Dr. Frankenstein, and he dies a wrecked man, the monster close behind him. Frankenstein is a scary parallel to the extremes of entrepreneurship. Monster businesses have killed marriages, torn families apart, and for some entrepreneurs, decimated any hope of a good life. That miracle of a business we created can end up causing untold suffering. When that happens, the hatred Dr. Frankenstein had for his monster is all too often the chief emotion entrepreneurs have towards their businesses. But your story doesn't have to end that way. You can have your happily ever after. The good news is that while your business may seem to be a monster controlling your life, it is also powerful. Whether your annual revenue is $50,000, $500,000, $5 million, or even $50 million, your business can become a profit-generating workhouse. Never forget the power of your monster. You just have to understand how to direct and control it. When you learn this simple system, your business will no longer be a monster. It will become an obedient, pasture-loving cash cow, a damn strong one at that. What I'm about to share with you is going to make your business profitable immediately and determinately. I don't care what size your business is, how long you've had it, how long you've been surviving check to check and panic to panic, month after month, year after year. You are about to be profitable forevermore. No more leftovers for you. It's time for you to eat first. Here's the deal. There's only one way to fix your financials, by facing your financials. I'm going to say that again. He doesn't say it twice, but I'm going to say that again. There's only one way to fix your financials is by facing your financials. You can't ignore them. You can't let someone else take care of them. You need to take charge of your numbers. But here's the good news. The process is really, really simple. In fact, you will fundamentally understand it and implement it within just a few more chapters. So take action. He's going to say, send me an email. It's time to draw the line in the sand. I say, post in the group. Let us know. Say, I've drawn a line in the sand, and tell me that you're committed to your profitability. Tell me that you will do what it takes to once and for all become profitable. If you're all in on this, I want to know. You can email me too if you want. It's dawn@stressfreetaxseason.com. But just post in the group. I want to hear that you are committed to finally being profitable in your business, because you can do this. I know you can. I'm seeing people do it all over the place. Again, It's simple to follow, but I'm here to hold your hand. That is why I have a couple different programs. I have the Profit Perfect Profit Plan Academy is where I teach you how to do all of this. I hold your hand. I actually do the hard numbers part for you so that you don't have to get stuck in the muck and mire of the parts that get frustrating for you. I talk you through that so that we can get past that quickly enough that you can really feel like you're implementing the system very well. I'm also in a couple weeks here, I'm going to have a free week-long boot camp. So keep an eye out for that. Again, we are moving, so it's just been insane, crazy. I didn't want to skip today and not be here for you though. But it is just insane. In fact, when I got a hold of the cable company to make sure we got internet and all that switched over, because like many of you, we're schooling from home. We're logging into the school programs. My husband's working from home. I'm working from home. And the soonest they can get us internet is the 16th. So it's just like, are you kidding me? I would not have thought that that would be a problem, but apparently that is a problem. So I'll be here again for you guys next week. Things might be a little spotty just until we get ourselves really established, but then you're going to hear from me a lot because I want to get you guys excited and prepped about what you can do for your business, especially as we're in this last quarter of the year. It's the perfect time to figure out the implementation of Profit First in your business so that we get you moving so that next year just flies, that you have your tax money going into your tax account. I can tell you that has been like one of the best things. I went from being in a situation where, oh my gosh, tax bill came, now we have to figure out a plan, like how are we going to pay this, to last year being able to just pay it. And I know right now, just from like Mike just said in this chapter, I look and I know that I have the money to pay the taxes in there already. And it's not something that that's causing me stress as the year's winding out, right? And for some of you, you may even feel this way. You may feel like, what's the point of doing well if I'm just going to owe all these taxes? Well, when you use Profit First and you have set aside the money for your taxes, it's not a big deal. It allows you that space to grow, to expand, and not feel like it's going to become a burden for you because you know that you already have that taken care of. So again, this is Dawn Clevisol. Thank you so much for being here with me today. This is episode, I don't even know if that's right. You know what? I don't think I even pulled the right picture. Oh, you guys bear with me. Okay, so we were on episode 5. I think I have the picture up for episode 4. So that is just how life is going right now. But do really well. Send me those messages. Let me know that you are committed to making this change in your business. And I want you to know I'm here to hold your hand along the way. So thank you so much. Next week, we will be starting chapter 2. The core principles of Profit First. That's where it gets really fun as we dive into what you should actually be doing in order to do Profit First in your business. So thanks, you guys. Talk to you later.